telling this story of my pig Oscar, and it's funny, when we lived there, we didn't have a pig. We had ducks, we had chickens, we had sheep, we had goats, but no pig. But we have had pigs, just not there at the time I was writing this. And we ended off, and when we had a lot of chickens, none of them really had names. I have names to my chickens now, but not then. Okay, the story ended off where she said, okay, I know, this is, okay. Oscar has certainly brought life to us here. Things will never be the same at the little country farm, and there you have it. And that was absolutely true. Life was never the same. So Penny carries on. I was right here. Life has not been the same since Oscar has arrived, albeit things have settled down into more or less of a routine. Molly starts her day with a pig, telling him of Mrs. plans of the morning. Oscar, then knowing when the coast is clear, he crawls out under his fence, not getting caught by Mrs. flying after him with her broom so fast she loses one of her scandals, as Oscar calls her shoes. Then he heads off jauntily to his language class. Each day he arrives to a different tutor, as we have each been assigned to a rotation. My day is Friday, and I spend time reviewing and correcting either faulty teaching or learning of his weekly new words. However, I'm not sure I'm gaining on his language skills, no matter how many times we've gone over sandals, not scandals, with big eyes when he's retelling of Mrs. and her broom. It always is her scandals she loses in the chase. I think it's the Polish in him. As bright as he is, I know he's clever indeed. He understands everything he is told and is smart as a whip, but just doesn't seem to have an ear for the English language. She stopped reading. Oh, I'm going to skip that paragraph, excuse me. This is sent to her friend, and her friend says, soon as she was reading the letter, she felt herself at the farm, seeing the little pig half lying in the pond talking to Quinten. So she's imagining this, but this is really happening back at the farm. Such a relaxed scene. Oscar's eyes half closed, Quinten slowly floating, almost dozing at the pig's side, when Oscar asked, "Did I tell you? Molly brought me out a small pocket dictionary from the house. I love to read it. It's so full of words, big ones and little ones, so many. I read advocate the other day. I just love the sound of that. I think when I'm old enough, and if I ever have a daughter, I'm going to name her Advocate." Quinten never corrected. He only listened and nodded occasionally. Maybe that was why Quinten was one of his favorite teachers. Dreamily, Oscar went on, "When Kate, I'll call her Kate for short, is older, she might be in voice also. Maybe singing a lovely contagious quinto." The pig never quite pronounced the duck's name right either, but again Quinten was ever too polite to correct. "I'm in voice. The mister showed me a yellow piece of paper with money written on it, and he said it was my invoice. I think I'm a tennis. Let me sing a few bars, and then maybe you can tell." He shut his eyes, stood in the pond, and sang. Actually, Oscar did have a beautiful, melodious tenor voice of opera quality, a voice so sweet it made you want to cry. When he finished, he found Puddy and the other Johnny-come-lately cat clapping and calling, "Encore!" But he didn't know what that meant. Oscar did turn pink with embarrassment at the clapping, though. "Do you like my invoice?" I'm a tennis, or is it a tender?" "Do you think I am?" They all agreed. "Yes, tenor, Oscar, tenor." He was so pleased with himself he missed the fact that they were trying to help him with his pronunciation of tenor. The pig went to try to explain to them that someday he dreamed of a daughter named Kate, spelled with a C, who would sing contraption to his tennis. Both of the cats stood looking at Oscar and then at each other, looking quite perplexed, thinking, "What does he mean?" When the Johnny-come-lately cat said, "He means contralto, sing contralto to his tenor." Oscar said, "Oh, I must go. It's time for my crowing lessons, and Chanticleer is teaching me how to crow like him," and off the pig rushed. Chanticleer's English lesson for the pig had turned into a crowing sessions, and the English lessons per se were finished, although since he was bright enough little pig, he was picking up English very quickly, being exposed to it by all of his so-called teachers in one way or the other. He already could speak Polish and Chinese, so a third language was easier to learn. Rhoda's lesson had also deteriorated, Penny related. They have become more like Easter egg hunts. Rhoda goes out under the fence, lays her egg, can never remember where, so now the pig and Rhoda spend teaching time trying to find her egg. One day, Oscar tripped over himself and fell on her egg. He cried. And we'll find out what her reaction was next time. So that is our story. Wait just a minute. I'm just going to finish this. I think there's a better stopping point that I'll remember where I stopped. So bear with me. He cried. However, it was one of the few times when Rhoda was nice. She excused him, wiped his tears with her wing feathers, and assured him she would lay a new one tomorrow, and that since he didn't mean to break it, it was okay. Yes, Oscar is getting quite an education here at the little country farm, and there you have it. And there you have it. That's it. Till next time. So, have a good weekend. Enjoy. And I hope you enjoy the story of Oscar the pig.